Okay, guys. Thank you for tuning in. This is CDR Tier 3, round 10 at Circuit of the Americas at Austin. Moving into Q1. Obviously, nobody has left the pits just yet, as the session has only just started. But let's take a look what sort of tyres people will be running in Q1. Just taking a quick look at the championship. King of the Hills is out ahead and looking to extend his championship lead over his nearest rival, which is Osboso9, who is currently P2 in the championship. So this should be a good fight between the two of them, and it looks like someone's already crashed coming out of the hairpin in the final corner, which appeared to be Silent Ninja on an outlap. Somehow managed to crash coming out the first corner. Not entirely sure how that's possible, but we roll with it. Warrior Huntsman has immediately invalidated his outlap, which doesn't make a big difference as long as he doesn't do that on his flying lap. The S's around the Circuit of the Americas notorious for causing invalidations as one wheel over any one of the lines, and it is game over for the driver in question. I'm just trying to see who the furthest one around is, and if anyone is actually on a lap. I think it is Silent Ninja, the one who will be first one across the line. No, it will be Warrior Huntsman to start his quali lap first. So let's see if he can actually get past the S's without invalidating his lap. Okay guys, we've got 6 people tuned in so far, let's try and get some more in, and if you've got a favourite driver or anything, drop a comment in and I'll do my best to keep up with the comments. Let's get that engagement up, shall we? As Warrior Huntsman has successfully negotiated the first sector very well, and there is a yellow flag in the second sector, which is just a slow moving Red Bull. As he comes down towards, I'm not entirely sure what corner that is. I just know it's awkward to get right. Purple first sector, as he's the purple second sector, as he's the first one through it. A little bit of a scrappy exit there. Again, a notoriously difficult corner to get right. It is easy to lose the rear as it just doesn't want to settle down. As Warrior Huntsman losing a little bit of time on the exit of the penultimate corner. Round the final corner, is he going to keep it steady? 131.8, that's a very solid lap to start. And who's the next man along the lap? It will be, I think, Silent Ninja is on an outlap again, so is his teammate. I think the only other man on a lap is Gainful Odds. Sorry, as I missed the Hound's lap with a 133.1. So a couple of seconds off the pace there. Surely he's got more to find, as that's a very scrappy S's. As Gainful Odds heads down the DRS straight. How's his second sector going to match up compared to Warrior Huntsman's? With CDR Jeremy already retiring from the session, so he has absolutely no intention of setting a qualifying lap, which is fair enough to him. As Gainful Odds is locking up into a heavy braking zone, so that's not going to do his lap time a great deal of good. As Reggie's car is done a 137 dead. King of the Hills sliding into P2 with a 132.3. Gabe Watts puts himself P5 with, okay, that's a glitch lap time, as I did see that pop up. I'm not sure if he invalidated somewhere, but he didn't have a red. Madge doing a purple first sector. Colby is retired from the session. I'm not entirely sure why he's retired. As that's an awkward place for a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3, right on the cusp of both sectors. And there we go, Madge setting a purple sector 2 as well. With no Fandangle leading the session. No idea why that is. I think he may just need to jump out for a minute. He should be back. As Madge comes across the line with a 132.8. Call me our kid with a 130.8. That is tier 1 sort of pace immediately, like straight off the bat. It took tier 2 until Q2 to even drop into the 130s on Friday. So Call Me Our Kid will be watched from now on, as he has shown surprising pace from jump in the last couple, well, over the last couple of weeks. Essentially, he's gone from no pace to surprisingly leading the field most weeks, as Ryan Dino is complete in the middle of sector 2. See how he navigates sector 3 as he comes to the end of sector 2. Yellow flag showing. That's because I'm assuming of the slow moving Mercedes ahead of him. Let's see how he's going to get on, and as I said, very difficult to get that corner right, as the rear just doesn't want to stay with you. Looks like he's done a couple of laps, or he's just not turned his his hot lap off the entire way for round qualifying, as this is going to be like a 138 at this rate. 136.3, which puts him P9. Richie's just off exploring somewhere. Let's try and get a better look at his front wing, see if he's lost any of it. It does look like he's got a little bit of front wing damage. So let's see if he drops straight into the pits or if he goes again. I know his front wing's perfectly fine, he's just dropped it somewhere. Hopefully it's not going to affect his actual lap, as he does actually set a lap 10 seconds off of the pace of the car ahead. And No Fandangle is back, glitching out the pit lane. Why not? Oh! As I catch Silent Ninja completely misjudging the pit lane entrance there and going straight into the barrier, as Barkmandu is coming around the... Okay, Barkmandu is moving very slowly. Getting out of the way of someone else. Fair enough to him, as Jay Sean comes out of the pits. Esposo has invalidated his his second flying lap, trying to find that extra bit of time. Richard is somehow 1.3 seconds down on his first sector. So unless he's planning on making all of his time up in this middle sector and final sector where he dropped it last time out, which I think we're coming up to where he dropped it. It's a very awkward apex, this corner, and a very awkward exit. as Rich goes round, I think it's turned 14 to 17 there. I'm not entirely sure, but with 7 minutes left of the session, Call Me Out Kid is still out in front. Richard manages to find 6 seconds, so he's still got a lot of time to find there, with being 11 seconds off the pace. As Barkmandu's still on an outlap. Sniper's Race is still in the pits. Jay Sean on an outlap. Where is he on track? Coming down towards... There we go. And coming across the line, he's got a car just ahead of him, so he might have wanted to back out a little bit of that, as I believe that is Barkmandu just ahead. It is Barkmandu just ahead, so both of them are on flying laps. Let's hope they don't trip over each other, as that will do neither of them very much good. So all it takes is one of them to mess up the S's and cause the other one to slow down, and we will be talking about something completely different. As Barkmandu has set a purple sector 1, which I believe is just him and his personal best through the sector, as Jay Sean has invalidated through the S's. So we'll ride on board with Barkmandu and see how he gets on for the rest of his lap, as Teabag is coming through sector 2 now. Yeah, I'm not going to call you Teabag for the rest of this. I'm just going to call you Colin, because that's ridiculous. Silent Ninja on an outlap. Barkmandu setting a purple sector 2, so he's found a little bit of pace with a big lock up there. That's not going to do his tyres or his lap time any good. Got a very slow exit out of that corner too, and then it's just winding up through the gears and then into a little bit of a braking zone for the penultimate corner. Then the final corner being slightly awkward to actually navigate, as it's very easy to drop it on the curb on the exit. It does a 134.5, so he's still got some time to find. I hope that Richard isn't doing all of these times on the same set of soft tyres, as Teabag, aka Colin, has invalidated his lap at the worst possible place by the looks of it, which looks like the final corner. Silent Ninja comes around the end of sector 1 into sector 2. How's he going to get on? He's managed to navigate the S's without invalidating. That's an upside. So how is he going to get on? I'm going to guesstimate that he's got to finish between 9th and 12th with the current pace of this lap by the looks of it. As we've had 2 guys retire. That's Warrior Huntsman just retiring from the session. Paranoid has put himself into the top 10. Osbozo is now down into P11. Barkmandu, and he does go into P12, so that pushes Osbozo down to P12. Barkmandu down to P13. Ryan Dino is all the way back down to P14. Registar holding up the Q2 position right now with a 137 dead. So please teabag me, aka Colin, is also on another invalidation lap. Registar has left the session apparently. I think he may have meant to retire or just having internet issues, I'm not entirely sure. Sniper's Race is still sat in the pits, as No Fandangle is out on track doing an outlap. Is Sniper actually going to come out of the pits and set a lap at any given point? As Ryan Dino is looking at making up some more time on his 1:36.3. Oh, a little bit loose coming out of there. Not going to help his time a great deal, but let's see if he is going to improve as he comes towards the penultimate corner. Decent line through there, very clean. He's running low on energy, so his ERS won't be great. Does find just over a second, but doesn't improve in track position. As Reggie Star is invalidated on his outlap. Colin is now out of the pits with 1:30 to go, and it's a 1:30, like 1:33 lap to do after flying out of the final corner and up the start finish. As he decides to navigate the S's by not going around them. All I'm going to say is there's quicker ways across that than the way he did it. He's just trying to get back to the start finish before the timer runs out, so he can actually set a lap. Currently being P16, he will need something not special, but he'll need something decent to get himself into Q. Oh, let's see. We'll just ride on board with him for the next lap or so. As T-Bag does manage to do a 1:34 and an invalidation lap, which would put him inside the top 10, well top 12, so be comfortable to get through to the next round of qualifying. Let's see if he can manage to keep it together through the S's. Taking a slightly wider line, as that was a Haas getting quite clearly out of the way. As that's coming down towards the hairpin onto the DRS straight. How's he going to get on? Coming down towards another 90-degree left-hander. All I know is Herman Tilke hated F1 cars whenever he designed this track. Oh yeah, we got to put some fast free-flowing S's straight after a hairpin into turn 1. And then the middle sector, we're just going to put switchback corners and a triple right-hander in there. And then for the final corner, we're just going to make it a weird, obtuse angle that means that your braking zone is all out of sync to the rest of the lap. And he does 1:33.5, which does put him into P12, so comfortable. He managed to find time. I believe Falkmandu's in the garage. Ryan Dino's had a moment somewhere. I assume that is what the yellow flag was for. Why are you going into the pits when you could just cross the line and it would end the session if you are literally the only other man on track? You could have just taken the flag. But because of where the Ferrari pit box is, it won't cross the line, and the session will just have to continue for the next 55 seconds. So out of Q1, we lose Reggie, Colby, CDR No Fandangle, Sniper's Race, and CDR Jeremy. With Call Me Our Kid and Scotty, both putting in pretty solid laps there. Call Me Our Kid with, as was noted, that lap time would have put him in P9 in Tier 1 in Q3. He would have started in 9th position in Tier 1 with that lap time. As I think that is actually better than my time trial around here, or very close to being better. That is a ridiculous lap, and if his race pace is anything to go by, okay, so into Q2 we go. Guys, if any of you are watching this and you have anything to say, drop a comment and give me something to read out, because I feel like I'm just talking to myself right now. As that looks like an Alfa Romeo, a Red Bull and a Ferrari all leaving the pit box at very similar times. Yeah, your curry being too hot wasn't exactly what I was meaning, but we roll with it. So the two Renault boys both leaving the pits together, so that is paranoid and gainful odds. If they actually spoke to each other, this could benefit both drivers. If they've both gone out on mediums, actually I will double check what tyres everybody's out on. Gainful out on mediums, Colin out on softs, Warrior Huntsman out on softs, Osboso out on softs, Madge mediums, Ryan Dino, Rich, both on softs. And then everybody else is out on mediums. As the race strategy around here does claim it is a one-stop. The one-stop will only work if you can manage to get your tyres to last longer than 7 laps on the softs. Sorry guys to whoever's actually reading the comments on this stream. We've got a couple of our guys talking about curries in the channel, in the YouTube comments. Finally, something constructive to come from one of the admins. CDR Claymore has just said, looking forward to this race. King of the Hills has been smashing some good races recently. Colin been solid the past few races too. And he's looking forward to seeing how the new guys get on. New guys obviously being Ryan Dino and Reggie Starr. Okay, who is the closest man to setting a lap or is already on a lap? Gainful Odds is on a lap, and I believe so. Silent Ninja with a 134.2 on mediums. It's a decent first lap. Sorry guys, I'm just waiting for my stream to upload. Yes, Bother, we do agree with that one. Penalties can be treacherous around here and can cost you ultimately final position, as I know for certain about that, as it cost myself P4. No, sorry, it cost me P3 on Friday. Warrior Huntsman popping up with a 132.5, so the medium tyres are around about 1.3 seconds a lap slower than what the softs are. I am going to say something now. Huntsman, you were bumped down to tier 3 while you got used to your wheel. It appears that you are now back used to the wheel and getting back up to speed. So, tier 2 will see you again shortly, my friend. Darren. As we follow one of the new guys into the league, coming down to the DRS straight. I really should know the corner numbers or names of the corners around this place, but we've got 14 races in the calendar. I don't have enough time on my hands to learn every single track, corner and name. This is why I need Dan with me, but Dan decided to be off racing today instead. And see how that went for him. As Rich has posted a 133 flat, Huntsman still on a 32.5, King of the Hills on a 33.2, CDR Hound did a 133.9, Gainful Odds 133.9. There's a lot of 133.9s. Oh, that's a moment by Ryan Dino with a 134.5 on mediums, on soft, sorry. So he's found a little bit of pace. I hope that he's going to come into the pits and bag on a new set of softs or set of mediums and try and beat that time, because he does not want to be starting the race on those tires if he does progress. As T-Value has a little bit of a moment coming out the final corner, but still manages a 34.2. That final little twitch coming out the, well, the little twitch he had coming out the final corner must have cost him a couple of attempts at least. Call Me Our Kid is out of the pits and on mediums. The Scotty's also on an outlap. Osvaldo still sat in the pits on soft tyres. Jay Sean out on mediums and invalidated his lap again. Paranoid, the second Renault, looking to get into the top 5 along with his teammate, or top 10, sorry. How's he going to get on for the rest of his lap? Unpopular opinion, the new Alpine, however you want to pronounce it, looks absolutely fantastic on track in real life. But this black and yellow from Renault is hands down one of the best looking cars from the last few years. It's just a colour scheme that works, and it's a shame that it's no longer on the grid and we've just got to look at the French flag. Obviously French constructor, French flag on the car, it makes sense. But I'm going to miss this yellow and black Renault, as we focus on Paranoid as he comes around the final corner. And I have someone else agreeing with me in the comments as Paranoid puts himself inside the top 10 on a set of mediums. I do believe he has enough time to get back to the pits and bang on a set of softs if need be. Because he has got Call Me Our Kid on a lap, who looks to be on a mission in qualifying today. It's a good job that we don't hand out a point for pole position, isn't it? As he would be even further up we'd be even closer to the top. I think he's only got like 62 points between him and King of the Hills in P1 in the championship, with Call Me Our Kid being 4th, and he only joined in Austria, which was 4 or 5 races ago, I believe. Taking maximum amount of road into that apex and gets a great exit. How's the rest of his lap going to shape up? And he's invalidated. Straight into the pits, fresh out of softs. He'll just go again. And back to the colour schemes of cars. I don't think that the Haas could have got any uglier from last season, but they managed it with this season. And moving into CDR Season 2, obviously F1 2021 coming out in a few weeks. The new release date is actually the 13th of July. So if you pre-order it, it will be available from the 10th. CDR season running until I think the 21st, which will be the final. Sorry, it will be the 23rd, which is the final race of the season. And not looking forward to having to see the new Haas car, which is basically the Russian flag. Got people requesting what cars they want to be in on the new game. We might put it to a vote and see what can be done about that, because everybody has their own personal preferences. As Osboso has just gone into P1 on a 32 flat, which is a clear half-second difference between him and Warrior Huntsman. Bart Kandu is up into P6. I think he should be comfortably through to Q3 on that lap time, as there are only 5 guys, only 2 guys yet to set times, and the other guys seem to be struggling for pace a little bit around Cota. It is a very difficult place to actually hook up a lap, as it is prone to a mistake, as Scotty is out on his mediums looking for a decent lap. Bearing in mind, all he needs to do is beat a 34.2 in order to progress, with a couple minutes left of the session. He's hoping that Renault of, I believe, Osboso to get out of his way. Uses it for maximum slipstream effect there. Took him a little bit off the racing line, but he may have carried a lot more speed as a result from the slipstream. Who knows? 1 minute 2.3 through the middle sector. And in a minute we'll jump on board with Call Me Our Kid as he finishes his outlap and starts his final flyer. Hound is getting some praise for doing 1 lap on a set of mediums and aiming to get through, as Scotty puts himself straight into P3, which does drop CDR Hound down into P8, as Call Me Our Kid, the last man left to set a lap, absolutely flying through sector 1. Jay Sean leaving the session again. I think he has 1 spare invite left, as Hound will send out 3 invites per driver, so he's already used 2 in order to get into the session. Hound, if you're actually watching this, do you mind just firing over an invite, please? And that will be his final one. If he drops out again, that's on him, and he won't be invited back, as it could glitch the lobby. As Call Me Our Kid taking the same line again into that corner. I think he invalidated at the penultimate corner last time by taking a little bit too much curb into it. Just tried to cut to square it off a little bit too much. Now running no ABS and locking up occasionally into a heavy braking zone. See how he gets on for the final couple of corners. If he manages to get into the 131s on mediums. Robin Van Os, I'm assuming that's Os Boso. Call Me Our Kid invalidates again and is actually out of Q2. This is the exact reason why we do this, guys, why we run the tier 3 on a Sunday instead of in unison with the tier 2 and tier 1, as it's nice to see the admins getting involved, the CDR admins getting involved in the comment section and giving praise to the tier 3 drivers for improvements. And yes, CDR Hound has managed to scrape through, unless Madge can improve on his lap, but he is currently 11 seconds off of the pace. So it does look like CDR Hound is through to Q3. But back to the praise from the admins and other people. Tier 3 is our development category, well, development tier. And some of these guys, since we first started it, have come on leaps and bounds since they joined. Scotty, I'm just picking names out of a hat here. Scotty, Call Me Our Kid, King of the Hills, Silent Ninja, and Gainful Odds. Gainful Odds obviously has league raced before, but he's dropped a lot of his assists and started to run with none, and has improved in lap time since we placed him into tier 3. King of the Hills has managed to take his first league win, as well as leading the championship, which is an achievement in itself. Scotty joined and didn't know his way around a setup and has improved drastically in not only race pace but 1 lap pace, and his racecraft has also improved. And yeah, as CDR Claymore has also said in the comments, we've seen massive improvements from a lot of these. I'm sorry if I missed any of the guys out. I'm only looking at what I've got in front of me to pick names from. Even CDR Hound. He's now trying to race with manual gears and no ABS. And if he's using neither of those assists during that lap time, and it's only his second time of using it and being 1.8 seconds off of the pace, on the soft tyre, the fastest time being set, that's a great move by him. With Scotty picking up a 5-place grid penalty. Who else? I wonder how that happened. He may have been given that for blocking in the pit lane or something. I'm not entirely sure. I didn't see what that was for. As Q3 is now about to get underway. So a lot of the guys will be starting on the medium tire, which is the tire to start on around here, as it's the longevity you need for the first stint in order to get the two-stop underway, or a decent, or attempt the one-stop. Go deep on the medium tire and last 17 or 18 laps on those, and try and stretch the softs as long as possible. Special shout out to Ardino too, Ryan Dino. Has just brought to my attention. Made it through to Q3 in his first qualifying appearance for CDR. There's a lot of guys that have shown massive improvement and still struggling to get through to Q3. So big praise for him, especially as we did his trial round here the other day and he did seem to struggle a little bit. That's not to throw any sort of shade or put him down in any way. Just he might have found his rhythm or found a little bit of extra confidence by doing some laps. We don't know, but it's nice to see him getting through to Q3 and showing us what he's got. Obviously, Tier 3 run a separate Constructors Championship compared to what Tier 1 and 2 do, as they run a combined Constructors. But being Ferrari myself, I do hope that the Ferrari guys do well in Tier 3, which this season they haven't, as they're currently rock bottom of the championship, the Constructors Championship for Tier 3. So hopefully they can get some decent points today. They've got at least one driver into Q3 anyway. As it seems like everybody's on an outlap, with T-Bag, aka Colin, across the line. Warrior Huntsman's just ahead. Ryan Dino's now across the line. Silent Ninja is coming through the S's. Is he going to manage to get through without invalidating? This little left kink is awful for it, as it does just invite you to go straight across, and yet just like that he has invalidated his lap, as it does invite you to just cut it as much as possible. CDR Hound making his way through the first sector. There we go, we can actually hear his gear changes there, so he's doing that himself. Sorry guys, the work never stops. Just responding to a message about CDR. So sorry if I missed anything, as CDR Hound is looking at completing his lap, as it's invalidated anyway. King of the Hills through Sector 2, well into Sector 2. Osboso doing a 32.8. That's a little bit off the pace of where he would want to be by now. Colin doing a 32.8. Ryan Dino's, I'm not sure what he's done to that Ferrari over the last couple of qualifying sessions. This is a great camera shot, by the way. I'm loving this camera shot. I think he did a 137 in Q1, managed to drop into the 34s in Q2, and managed to get into the 33 here. So he's found something, as he just strapped a rocket to the back of that thing, or as Barkman do is on a 33.8, Rich is on a 34 flat, Huntsman is in the pits, Scotty in the pits, Silent Ninja is, I assume, out on a lap. Yes, he is. He's just in, and it's invalidated anyway, so I'm just going to skip him. Hound also back through to the final sector, hoping just to secure a lap time, as this, I think, any sort of decent qualifying position from like 5th upwards would be his best quality of the season so far. On a track that he claims not to like that much. But I would take it with a pinch of salt, as that's into the pits. King of the Hills looking to claim a pole and to grab the championship bid, like his championship bid, by the scruff of the neck and just force it into P2 in the championship to chase him, which is Osboso, whichever way you want to pronounce it. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names. As Barkmandu puts himself into P3 with a 33 flat. So there's only a couple of attempts between top 5 so far, top 4 so far, sorry. 3 attempts. Then Rich is almost a second back on everybody. I'm just going to jump into the comments and take a look. Yes, Colin, we all see your lap time as a 32.8. I think that you've got more time to find there. Okay, thank you for clarifying that for me, also, thank you. Makes it a lot easier. I'll try and remember that for future reference. I can't guarantee I will. Because I will probably forget that by the morning. Silent Ninja goes straight into P5 with his first completed flying lap anyway of the session, doing a 33.1. Only marginally slower than Ryan Dino. Warrior Huntsman flying through the first sector has managed to keep it all intact so far. Scotty starting his flying lap. Hound on an out lap. King of the Hill still in the pits. So I believe the next man across the line to set a first flying lap of the session will be Warrior Huntsman. So we'll ride on board with Huntsman, then when he finishes his lap we will jump on board with Scotty and then King of the Hills, if he actually decides to leave the pits at any point today. As Colin, this is why we miss you when you're not around. Please teabag me in the comment section. I ain't getting better than that. I rinsed that. I've got a wet set on for stability, as me and this track aren't friends. And to be honest, if you pulled a 32.8 out of a wet setup on a dry track, it's even more impressive that you've managed to drag that out of that setup. So I'll give you your due there. 31.6 from Scotty there. That looks like he's snatching pole from Oso by literally 1.2 seconds. How do you find 1.2 seconds? Please explain to me. We go off of, there should be around about a second difference between each tier. So the tier 2 guys lap time, like quality time, will be, well, pole time will be about a second slower than tier 1, and tier 3 being about a second slower than tier 2. But 31.6 is just ridiculous. Come on, have some mercy on the rest of the field. Because now you're having to force Bosso out onto another lap. Colin may go out again. Barkmandu is definitely going out. Silent Ninja will go out again. Warrior Huntsman is out. The Hound is, well, the Hound and does a 32.2. Puts himself into P2. That is a solid lap from the Hound. Now also Bosso is definitely coming out for revenge. He wants that P1 back. Richard is on a lap. Huntsman on an out lap. King of the Hills on an out lap too. Now, Colin, do you believe that you need to stay in the pits, or you got to try and get some more time out of that lap? Well, you can't now. You've left it too late. But getting it into Q3, regardless of if you finish. Oh wait, Scotty has a 5-place grid penalty, doesn't he? So he's gone out and absolutely smashed that lap, and CDR Hound may actually claim pole position through a technicality. If Osso Bosso doesn't improve by 6 attempts, CDR Hound may claim pole position as a technicality. As Rich is 1 second up, going through sector 2 and into sector 3. He didn't, so he will be dropping into the 133s there. He's got to find a lot of more time in sector 3. Looks like he had a great line through the flat-out triple right-hander there. Kept it clean through the penultimate corner. Didn't have a snap of oversteer. How is he going to get on? That's a 32.5. That puts him P2. P3, sorry. So that is a very solid lap. Colin is dropping like quite literally like a tea bag in water. Hopefully he'll rise to the surface at the end of it, but we'll see. Also Bosso, P4 on an out lap, sector 2 only marginally down. Is he just trying to milk every single bit of time he can out of that car? To official SB, I don't know who you are or if you are. There's worse analogies to have. Warrior Huntsman grabbing a 130 dead. So Scotty going 6 attempts clear of everyone, 1.2 seconds clear of everyone for Warrior Huntsman to bang in a lap that's 6 attempts quicker. Alright, call me our kid. Yeah, how do I put this in a way that you will understand? We see that sandbag. As you invalidate the same corner twice. We see it loud and clear. As Q3 has come to an end, it does look like Colin, that is a great lap around here, especially on a wet setup. You've got to suffer throughout the race though. You will be a sitting duck along the straights, especially towards the end of the race when everybody's on low fuel and you're still running wet wings and everything like that. Yeah, also some very solid laps there. I will grab the pictures for our benefit and not yours. Okay, so quick roundup. Warrior Huntsman starts on pole. Scotty has a 5-place grid penalty, which will drop him down to P7, and CDR Hound moves up into P2. Basically, everyone to P7 will move up, and Colin will start P8. Ryan Dino P9 and Silent Ninja starting in P10. So that wraps up qualifying for Tier 3. some pretty impressive laps flying in. Seeing as the fastest lap in Q1 was quicker than the pole position. With track evolution, I think it could have dropped into a 30.5 if he'd managed to make it through. But no taking away from Warrior Huntsman, that is an epic lap and well done on the pole position. And I'm just going to jump back into the stream so I can get the comments. Okay, so we have people actually obeying the ready up rule this week. Nobody is readied up. So just a quick reminder that at the beginning of the race, you get the strategy screen where you get to pick your, if you're outside the top 10, your tyres. That is Ryan Dino that is readied up first. So welcome to the penalty kingdom. Let me just grab that. That will be Ryan Dino getting penalised for readying up first. So the penalty strategy, the strategy screen, it's there for to pick tyres if you qualified outside the top 10, where you get free tyre choice, fuel load, pit window, things like that. It's just essentially there to make sure that your race is run how you want to run it. And if someone readies up earlier than that, you're stuck with 30 seconds to get all of that done and dusted. And it does become increasingly frustrating if it happens week in, week out without fail. So as a deterrent, CDR has implemented a penalty for doing such thing, and Ryan Dino will now find out on how the severity of his actions. Unfortunately for him, he's done it in his first race instead of reading the rules as you are instructed, and it has been posted everywhere for the last few weeks to avoid it. As I said, one stop pitting between the lap 11 and 15, two stop pitting lap 7, I think the first stop was, and then lap 20. So one stop mediums to hards, two stop it will be soft, medium, soft, or soft, medium, medium, whichever way you want to play it. Medium, soft, medium, whichever way you got to use two compounds, one softer, one harder. And this is going to be an interesting battle into turn 1. Let's see what tyres everybody has fitted, shall we? Here we are. So Sniper's race got disqualified from the formation lap, but he's the only man to do so. So I'm not sure if he's hit someone or just not pulled away from the start in order to warrant that disqualification. So Call Me Our Kid starting on the mediums. Oh, Ryan Dino disqualified too, as well as Colin. So those two have had a coming together. Jeremy also been disqualified. And no Fandangle. So them two have definitely come together, and I can guarantee that Dan is shouting at Jeremy for ruining his formation lap. I kind of wish I was in that party listening to that, as Dan's laugh would sound like a squealing pig. Be epic to listen to right now. As we'll jump on board with Warrior Huntsman and hope that this... There we go. So we actually get a great look at the start. See who gets the best start. And lights out. Tight run up to turn 1. That is the Red Bull getting really wide off the start. and getting swallowed up. That is Hound defending his position into turn 1. Round the outside and on the inside for turn 3. It looks like everybody is getting through smoothly. That is a Renault going across the S's. That will be a warning and or a penalty already. I do think that was gainful odds. Yes, it is. As he's off the track going and has lost positions to both Ferraris. As Dan makes up 3 positions in one move. And that is a bit of front wing flying everywhere, and that is a bit of Ferrari front wing being stuck to Dan's car. This is a nice little battle that's going on here. Who's going to be the one that opens their overtake and goes for the move up the inside? And it does look like Colby has opted to make that move. Nice move from him. Great driving from everyone around him to give him enough room. Let's see who the biggest winner of lap 1 was so far then. Colby is up 5. Barkman is down 14 positions. Is he missing a bit of front wing or something? No, he just seems to have got tagged somewhere and ended up facing the wrong way. It's the biggest winner of... That's Jay Sean in the pits. Reggie Star. Sorry guys, just waiting on the leaderboard to sort itself out, as it's claiming that Colby is in P6. But he has... Colby is not in the lead. Neither is Jeremy. There we go, finally sorted itself out. So the biggest winner of lap 1 was actually in fact Colby, gaining 6 positions. Call Me Our Kid apparently gaining 3 positions, but having a level symbol. CDR No Fandango up 5, Sniper's Race up 5, Jeremy up 4, Madge down 3, biggest loser being Barkmandu, who's down 11 places. Dan picking up a time penalty already. That's because he probably can't see the track, as he does hate this place. Sniper's Race picking up a penalty already, both of which are up 5 places, so they've just followed each other through. Both Ferrari boys nose to tail at the moment through the flat out triple right-hander. Call Me Our Kid thinking about a move on Colby there, but getting really wide. Warrior Huntsman picking up another fastest lap of the race, and he has pulled out on CDR Hound, who's under pressure from Osso Bosso. Obviously with DRS enabled this lap, this battle may be an interesting one going into the DRS straight, as that left-hander at the bottom of it, if you can pull out at just the right time, you can just slide straight down the inside and there is no defending it because you're just that far ahead. There's also one of the places that you can just absolutely send it and know that there's about 5 lines the car on the outside can take. Not recommending that to the tier 3 guys, of course, because we don't want to see front wing everywhere. But it is a possibility. Is he going to try it? No, he's not close enough. Colin has picked up a few places there. Good effort from him in the opening few laps. King of the Hills lost 4 positions. Silent Ninja has picked up a few, picked up 1, and Paranoid currently chilling in P9. Obviously surrounded by cars. He's plugging the gap between the top 7, well, the top 8 and the rest of the field. As the top 7 are driving away from him, and Paranoid is the one man holding up machine, not having DRS on the car ahead. And that is Ryan Dino making a move. He's ran out of road and conceded the position straight back. As we've got another comment on the YouTube. Yeah, also Bosso is not doing particularly well on the penalties over here. A lot of drivers picking up 3 seconds already within the first 4 laps. Bearing in mind, we're only a 1/7 of the way through the race. So those penalties will come thick and fast if they continue like this. As that midfield is... Jesus, that midfield is congested. Is Colby going to try and send one up the inside? Yes, he is. This is exactly what I meant. It's just... And Call Me Our Kid following through on the brakes. That's what I meant by you can get... As long as you're alongside going into that braking zone, a move into that corner is a formality, as the driver next to you has like 5 different lines they can take. There is a yellow flag in sector 2, which is Sniper. Reggie Starr is rejoined after disconnecting on lap 1 and has rejoined 40 seconds off the pace. Gameful Odds being 55 seconds off the pace. I presume he's already pitted. Yes, he has. So is Jay Sean. So those two will be aiming to make up some time in the next few laps and get the pit window. The Sniper's in the pits. Is that for a new front wing, or is that just a mandatory stop that he thinks he needs to make? That was a racing point in the pits, which looks like Colin. Yes, it was. Yeah, new front wing. Ryan Dino picking up another penalty. Also picking up another penalty too. Oh, and Warrior Huntsman has a penalty so far. With CDR Hound just keeping it clean. Let's see what the gap between the two of them are. We'll wait for the timing screen to actually upload. That might be helpful. Come on, Codemasters, do your job. At least provide us with the correct information when we require it. It should update as soon as they cross the line, as they're not too far away from it. Hopefully, Scotty picking up a 3-second penalty there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 drivers on 3 seconds or more. Hound picking up a penalty himself. Silent Ninja picking up 3 seconds. That puts him on 3. Call Me Our Kid is on 3 himself. Colby on 6. CDR Hound needs to close in this gap on Warrior Huntsman. And just try and keep it moving smoothly. But I do think he is on the right tyre to make this strategy work. If he can get the over or undercut done, this could be a completely different story. That Hound, I'm just going to say this politely, mate, that was just a straight up corner cut. Like, you didn't even attempt to take the apex, you just cut the corner. And to any of the tier 3 guys listening, if you manage them right, the softs can do 13 laps, so you can one-stop it. They'll feel like utter rubbish after the first few laps, but they can last up to 13 laps. Friday I pitted on lap 3 for a fresh set of softs due to wing damage and dragged them out to lap 17 and then pitted for a set of mediums. So it is fully capable, it is fully possible to do the one-stop strategy around here, if that's what the strategy you're thinking. As we will, there's a few battles going on throughout the field, but nobody's particularly close to anyone, as that is also Bosso diving into the pits. He needs to watch his speed, which he just about drops down under the speed limit. King of the Hills is up to P4. Jeremy picking up penalty. Scotty up. So sorry guys, everybody jumping up in position up until Osso Bosso. Obviously, as he went into the pit, Sniper's Race picking up another penalty. He's just a vacuum for penalties at the moment, isn't he? He's just not having... Oh, Scotty picking up a drive-through. That's going to seriously damage his race. That is not what you want. You don't want a drive-through. Not around cota. Jeremy picking up a drive-through too, so there's a VSC out, or there was a VSC. Scotty making... Oh, that was Paranoid. I saw that. I didn't see what caused it, but Paranoid just veered off into the barrier at the end of the S's. It looks like there may have been a touch. I'm not entirely sure, as I kind of just got the backward view of it. Jeremy, just take that drive through. Oh, that is a smashed up Renault. That is a horrible place to crash. That is flat out. No Fandango will be coming round. Is the Renault still there? Just trying to get a better view of what happened. No. So it's all on gainful odds now to fly the flag for Renault. Is he going to manage it? Well, he's currently in P16 and 11 seconds off of the car ahead. Colin down in P17. Registar picking up another place, obviously due to the retirement of Paranoid. It's a big lock-up from gainful odds. Sorry guys, I keep starting over names because I know a lot of these drivers' real names. And with Colin, I just refuse to call him by his PSN. Because it's the most ridiculous PSN I have ever seen in my life. Also, Bosso picking up another penalty. So that puts him on 9. If he wants to claw his way back into this championship battle with King of the Hills, he needs to avoid picking up any more for the rest of the race. Like, we're only on lap 8 and he's already picked up 9 seconds worth of penalties. So just over a quarter of the way in and he's already a third of the way to disqualification. So let's hope that he doesn't pick up any more in the immediate few laps. Warrior Huntsman just in cruise control at the moment. He's gapped CDR Hound, continuing to extend that lead and just looking really comfortable out in front. But all it takes is one snap of oversteer and the race is over around here, as I think Paranoid found out. But we shall see on how he gets on, as that gap is just increasing ever so slowly. Jay Sean picking up a 3-second penalty himself. Also Bosso making a move on Silent Ninja. I did miss that. Also Bosso making a move on a couple of guys there. Was that due to pit stops, sorry? Yes, that was due to Silent Ninja being in the pits. Let's see what's... Oh, no Fandangle with a great first sector for him on hard tyres, so he's just looking at one stopping and going to the end. Don't blame him. Scotty has served his drive-through by the looks of things. No, he hasn't. He's only got another lap. Okay, so a couple comments just floating through. Ninja getting 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. By now, guys, the speeding in the pit lane penalties, they shouldn't be this regular. You've had 10 races now of not running a pit lane limiter to actually realise that you enter the pit lane, you hit the limiter. Yes, you'll lose time, but I'd rather lose a second or two than have to sit in the pit box while everybody's flying past me and or having 5 seconds added to the end of your race. It's not fun when you lose a position by milliseconds because you've picked up a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's not speaking from personal experience or anything, I swear. So King of the Hills is actually looking, oh, he's all over the back of CDR Hound. This could get interesting into turn 1. So let's just ride on board as they finish out this lap in the final sector and go through turn 1. Because you don't want to make a move now or it will cost you in DRS. Reggie start picking up a time penalty there, being down in P18 and almost a full lap down on the leader. King of the Hills opts to pit and manages to avoid speeding in the pit lane. Call Me Our Kid is also on the pits. Osso Bosso now will grab a couple more positions back, but with 9 seconds worth of penalties he will jump back into his net P3 after the first round of pit stops, I believe. Yeah, he'll be net P1 for the time being if Huntsman has a bad stop. King of the Hills doing the sensible thing there and just not sending it into turn 1 after coming out the pits, as he knows this race is his for the win if he can keep it penalty free. All he's got to do is sneak up behind the leaders and he will be in with a chance. Colby chilling in P11. Only the 2 leaders, so CDR Hound and Warrior Huntsman, have yet to pit. Everybody else is pitted. I'd assume everybody's put either mediums or... yeah, so a lot of people have put mediums on, a fair few have put hards on. The medium runners will be going to lap, I think, trying to drag them out to about lap 17. So expect them to keep this gap going. Like, Huntsman is that far ahead, he could pit and come out in 2nd position. Hound would pit and come out in 4th. I believe. So the gap interval, yeah, he'd come out in around about 5th position. Sniper banging in a 35 dead is the fastest lap so far. That's a solid race pace lap, as I think the fastest in tier 2 was a 33.8 or somewhere along those lines. So round about a second difference between the two. Obviously, like, fuel loads coming into play soon as we approach half distance. Half of the race fuel we burnt off. Some of these guys will have been running in rich since the beginning and now running in lean. Actually remembering that they need to get to the end of the race on their fuel load. Scotty has finally taken his drive-through by the looks of it. Yes, he has. So he's only got 3 seconds, so he's got to make a comeback drive to grab decent points here. Jay Sean picking up another penalty while being in, as I watched Jeremy go straight up the inside of him and into P11. Ryan Dino picking up a penalty there. Where is Ryan Dino? Ryan Dino is now on 6 seconds. As Gainful Odds making a move, or attempting to. This little freeway battle here for what would be P13. Sorry, P14 between Madge, Gainful Odds. Oh, that is nice from Gainful. And Ryan just about coming off on the winning end of that. well, winning side of that, sorry. Call Me Our Kid banging in a 33.4. Yeah, so that is a ridiculous lap, as that is getting towards tier 1 race pace. What tyre is he on? Is he on softs or hards? Soft tyres. And he's got the Alfa Romeo of Rich right in front of him, who's on 3 lap old mediums. The softs will manage to get him into a decent position, but he will have to make up a lot of time before he can actually pit again. I'm just going to jump into the race director and take a look at what what tyres each driver has used so far, as this will be useful. So Call Me Our Kid has done mediums to soft so far. Also Bosso soft to mediums, CDR Hound and Warrior Huntsman on mediums, King of the Hills medium to hard, Silent Ninja soft to hard, Sniper's Race on medium to soft, Dan from medium to hards, Colby soft to mediums, Jeremy also doing the medium to hards, Jay Sean soft to medium, Scotty medium, so he's doing the 2-stop, Ryan Dino soft to hards, Gameful Odds soft to medium. Colin for some reason has picked 3 sets of soft tyres. Barkman do soft, so he's on the 2-stopper. Reggie soft medium, and Paranoid is obviously out of the session. As Call Me Our Kid just has, oh, that is Osso Bosso going the wrong way. That was aggressive to say the least from Call Me Our Kid, so that will be undoubtedly reported, as it cost Osso Bosso time and position. But he seems to have managed to keep his front wing intact, fortunately, as a pit stop there would have killed any chance of a decent result. As the grid is now that spread out, a pit stop would just drag him all the way back and just put him out of contention. As Reggie Starr is just having a lonely race back in P19, but all the lap time, all the track time he can get, getting used to these guys, getting used to the league, it will do him some good. Obviously he'd wish he'd be in a few more battles here and there, but you never know what the end of the race brings. As Hound and Huntsman have both entered the pits and both put on the hard tyres to the end. I personally would have gone for the softs, and just with the lightning fuel load you would have made them stretch to the end. Obviously the medium runners would have had extra grip at the end, but you would have been able to gap them on those soft tyres, which is exactly what Call Me Our Kid has done. Like, he's closing this gap on the leader like no tomorrow. Like, that's a yellow flag in sector 1. That is a Mercedes, which I believe is Silent Ninja. It is Silent Ninja who has taken a trip through the S's and now just all over the track. Why is he taking that line? He's got no front wing. Colin has left the session apparently. So something has happened to Silent Ninja there that has resulted in him losing his entire front wing. Not just an end plate or anything. He's just lost the entire front wing. I feel for him. That is not nice, especially on going into the next sector where it's sharp corners, flat out, triple right-hander. It's not going to be nice. So I'm not going to watch him suffer around the final sector. I will just ride on board with someone else as we jump on board with Jeremy and Hound. Jeremy, that was naughty. It was wheel to wheel racing, yes, but at least give Hound some room, who is missing an end plate himself. So I think he may have been the reason for Silent Ninja picking up the damage he did, or he's just opting to do, yeah, he's got some sort of wing damage. Yep, that's a fresh set of mediums on. He will go to the end of the race on these mediums. Great helmet design by him, actually. I'll give him his due. You might want to engage your gear and go. Thank you. As Jeremy and Dan are now up into P6 and P7 respectively. Red Bull guys absolutely firing on all cylinders. P4 and P5. Rich up into P4. Can he keep this pace going for the rest of the race? As he may actually be able to pull in our kid. Hound picking up 3 seconds worth of penalties again. Okay, I'm just going to jump into the invite Colin back into the session, so bear with me for a sec, guys. There we go, guys. Sorry about that. I was just sending a couple of invites out to Colin to make sure that he actually gets back into the session and manages to complete his race. Obviously, he's now a lap down, which isn't particularly fair, but disconnections happen, and it's just unfortunate when they do. No worries, Colin. It's what I'm here for at the end of the day. As this gap between Rich and Call Me Our Kid is actually staying relatively as it was, with 11 seconds in it. Rich having a great race, to say the least. Only on 3 seconds worth of penalties, so as long as he can close that gap down in the latter stages of the race to about 3 seconds, he should jump. Call Me Our Kid. Sorry, I just dropped my controller. That's on me. Reggie Starr picking up 3 seconds. We're now at that point in the tyre cycle where everybody will start to lose a little bit of grip and they just don't know how to deal with it. Sorry, guys. With no fan being overtaken by Jeremy with a really nice move actually into, and Dan coming straight back at him. The same corner where Dan actually DNF'd on Friday in Tier 2, so he has horrible memories of that corner. Reggie Starr is on 12 seconds worth of penalties, but pulled himself into a point scoring position for the time being. Silent Ninja, where is Hound? Hound has managed to recover into P12. Madge currently looking at jumping a few guys at this rate. As he has no penalties and is only 9 seconds, well, yeah, 13 seconds behind Colby. He dropped into the pits. Also picking up another penalty. 15 seconds for him. Sniper's Race picking up 24. He is on the verge of disqualification at this rate, but he has just set the purple first sector of the race. Is he going to just try and snatch that fastest lap at all costs, including getting another penalty? It's a nice line through that hairpin, and he's off the track. So that will be a warning for exceeding track limits. So if we see 18 guys running in a minute, it's because Sniper's Race has been disqualified from the session due to track limit warnings. As 24 seconds in 20 laps is impressive. Madge picking up his first 3 seconds. And just riding on board with Sniper's Race to see if he does pick up that fastest lap, that all-important extra point. Dan picking up another penalty, which puts him on to 12 seconds. So battling with Jeremy isn't doing him any good. That is also Bosso diving into the pits, so he's not having any fun on those tyres. Sorry, it's not also Bosso diving into the pits, it's just him being overtaken. Those mediums are starting to suffer a little bit for him. Sniper's Race coming. So also Bosso is now behind Dan and Jeremy as they make their way through the field. Obviously being tier 1 and 2, you'd expect them just to be able to easily carve the way through. They're making light work on the hard tyres, but they won't, their points will not count in the championship standings. Call Me Our Kid just looking at flying through the field, and those, I wonder if he's punished those softs too heavily in the opening stages of having them on, because his lap times, let's take a look at the race director and see if his lap times have started to suffer a little bit. We can take a look. So his fastest lap was a 33.4, 33.4. So yeah, he's been consistently in the 35s, 34s, 35s, 36. Yeah, he's taken all of the life out of those soft tyres, as Call Me Our Kid does actually pit and gets held up behind his teammate. And it looked like he had a 5-second penalty at the same time. Let me just double check that was true. Did he pick up a 5-second penalty? No, he just had a slow stop. His pit crew wasn't ready for him. So Reggie picking up another penalty there. Where is Reggie? Reginald is down in P19 still. So he's just having a lonely race, but he is closing ever so slowly. Call Me Our Kid picking up another penalty there, which does benefit Warrior Huntsman, who does look to be on track for the race win, as also Bosso is down in P15. So King of the Hills being 26 seconds behind the leader, which is essentially a free pit stop for Warrior Huntsman if he wants to come in, chuck on a fresh set of softs, move on, and just gap King of the Hills like no tomorrow on those fresh softs. But he's just in cruise control. Jeremy on 9 seconds, Dan on 12, Call Me Our Kid on 9, Sniper's Race on 24, Rich on 3, Colby and Scotty both on 9, also Bosso on 18, Hound on 12, Jay Sean on 9, Majd on 3. So as long as he can keep it relatively clean, he could jump a couple of positions. Gameful Odds on 3, Silent Ninja on 9, Ryan Dino a lap down on 12, Colin on 3 seconds, Park Bandu on 3, and Reggie on 15, also a lap down. And that looks like he's trying to get back past the Red Bull of King of the Hills. He is indeed. He's trying to unlap himself. As long as he doesn't impede King of the Hills too much, this is all fair in love and war. He's suffering a little bit of connection issues, in my opinion. That doesn't look particularly nice to be a part of. And he will just use the DRS for as long as he's got it. So King of the Hill is just happy to take P2 at this rate and just extend that championship lead over Oso Bosso. Sorry guys, it's been a long day. I do apologize. I will be back in a second. There is another comment on the YouTube. Yeah, well said. No penalties for King of the Hills either. Around Cota, where it is Reggie has left the session. Hopefully that is not him just leaving. I hope that he has genuinely disconnected instead of just leaving. Because leaving your car to just run the last 5 laps, it's not a great look, especially after only being in for a couple of weeks. Gainful locking up again. So the only man that's without a penalty is King of the Hills, who has kept it inch perfect the entire way around. He's keeping the gap to Warrior Huntsman in that nice little window of just under 11 seconds, but is he actually going to be able to improve? And he's had a bad sector 1, so that gap has extended into 11.6. And it's going up and up and up. As King of the Hills had a moment. That gap has gone up by 2.5 seconds. There we go. Sniper's race disqualified from the session. Too many penalties, too many track limit warnings. Bearing in mind he has got 30 track limit warnings in 24 laps in order to get 30 seconds worth of penalties. You get 2 warnings, and then the third one you get the warning and the penalty. So 30 in 24 laps, so that's on average. I'm not even going to bother doing that maths, my brain will hurt trying to do it. Clayton, you're good with numbers, go for it. Huntsman has opted to pit, that's why that time is going up. Huntsman has pitted for a fresh set of softs, and he's just looking at going, like, just going to the end of the race and just flooring it. I wish there was a way that we could see how much fuel load that they're carrying right now. So, like, if they're plus like 1.2 laps worth of fuel, if they'll be enriched or anything like that. But no, all we get is the telemetry that was shown, which is unfortunate. But Huntsman is a second up, almost a second up on his fastest lap, which would put him at a 34 flat. So he needs to find around about another half a second to 6 tenths in the final sector just to get anywhere near Call Me Our Kids time, which frankly is a ridiculous time. And the fact that he started P15, is currently chilling in P3 and holding a tier 1 driver behind him comfortably. As Huntsman crosses the line, 33.40. Oh, that is close. That is a great lap by Warrior Huntsman. Thank you. Clayton has actually worked out the maths on Sniper's race disqualification. He worked it out to 1.25 penalties per lap. So 1.25 penalties per lap, so that is a feat in its own. The fastest lap battle may continue this lap with those Little bit of scrubbed softs may benefit him. May have just had a rough ride for a couple of corners and looking at improving. Obviously coming into the final few laps, that gap is now, I think, yeah, back up to 17 seconds. He's got it comfortably in the bag. Call Me Arcade is comfortably chilling in third, as he, actually no, he's not. He's got to pull out a couple of seconds on Rich, as Rich could jump him into P3, as he's only got 6 seconds worth of penalties. So yeah, Call Me Out. Sorry, I'm doing the maths all completely wrong here. So 31 seconds behind the leader, Rich will 34 behind the leader. Rich will finish. Yeah, so he's got about 4 seconds in hand. So if Rich can find 4 seconds in 2 laps, he'll be on to a winner. And that looks like Warrior Huntsman is lapping the last place points finisher. He is indeed. And then the next man up the track is Silent Ninja. Stephen, that's not how you take that corner. I'm a big fan of this camera angle where you get to see the entire car from the rear view, from the rear wing, sorry. It's a great camera angle, especially if it's going into a battle. Colby picking up another 3 seconds. No Fandango on 17, also Boso on 18. That's going to put a big dent in his championship hopes, as Dan does move past the Colby and has a little bit of a moment. Is Colby going to try and come back at him? And Reggie started just to disconnect. Fortunately managed to get back in with a couple laps left to go. Just run in time, see how he gets on. At least he's not finishing P20, he's finishing P18 minimum. So plenty of room to improve, but Cota is not an easy track, as Call Me Kid and Jeremy get close. All different tyres, different race pace. Who's got to be the one that's going to come out on top here? Jeremy, be nice. Trying that Max Verstappen line through that corner. And why am I sensing a full send by Jeremy into the first corner? He's got to pull out in a sec and just try and send it up the inside. Is he? Is he? No, no. Ah, sensible. Bad Jeremy. Why are you being sensible? We want to see wheel-to-wheel racing, not you being overtaken by Call Me Kid and then just allowing it. Get on his gearbox, Jeremy. As Rich is actually just cruising now, he's just chilling. King of the Hills, oh no, that's got in. King of the Hills has picked up his first penalty. That is a yellow flag in Sector 1. That is Colby. Colby is DNF from the race, so has he pulled into the pits and retired? I'd assume so. Yeah, if his car's let go and just pulls to the... Yeah, he's retired the car. He's just pulled to the side, pulled into the pits and retired it. His car will be let go from pits, as for some reason that's a glitch with the game. Also, Bosso picking up another penalty. Warrior Huntsman just chilling out in front on 6 seconds worth of penalties. Final lap for him in turn 1, and nearest competitor hasn't even come round the final corner yet. That's what you call domination. Jeremy, stop picking up time penalties, mate. Making the admins look bad. Warrior Huntsman picking up a penalty at the same... Oh, Huntsman's picked up another penalty. Jeremy's retired. Will Dan be finishing the race? I'm not entirely sure what he's going to be doing. Scotty picking up a 3 second. That's 12 for him. But the nearest guy to him has got 21 seconds, and the guy behind... Yeah, Scotty's finishing solidly P5. Colby left the session. Bye, Colby. I hope you enjoyed your day. Barkman do 3 seconds. Alright, we'll just ride on board with Warrior Huntsman as he comes around the final couple of corners. Yeah, he's just cruising to the finish line now. There is a yellow flag in Sector 3, which I think that might be a slow-moving Mercedes. No, that is a racing point that has been released from the pits as Warrior Huntsman comes across the line to take the win. Call Me Our Kid is in P2. As he is just coming around the final couple of corners. Great effort from him. But this would be like, I don't know, having a penalty shootout against my 4-year-old nephew. It's shooting ducks to the barrel for him. King of the Hills does actually jump him due to penalties. So King of the Hills finishing P2. Rich coming out round the hairpin. Oh, Jesus Christ, guys. Scotty coming round the final couple of corners. And almost loses it. Ooh, his heart was in his mouth there. Also, Bosso, like, all he's got to do is cross the line. Just cross the line, also. Jay Sean with a decent result in P7. Madge is about to cross the line too. Madge jumps Jay Sean into P7. Decent result from him. I think that's his first points in CDR, so good effort. Gameful odds, where's he going to finish? P9, Silent Ninja. Yep, he will just finish where he is. Hound, did Hound jump him or did Hound have more penalties? I'm not entirely sure, but there was a comment on the stream there, so give me a sec. Colin with, and that's why me and Coulter ain't friends. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Decent quality pace, unfortunate in the race, but it happens. Right, race results, give me a sec. Penalties go away, we want the times. So that is Warrior Huntsman taking the win. King of the Hills extending his championship lead. Call Me Our Kid with a dominant drive. And set a fastest lap that was only marginally quicker than Warrior Huntsman's. Rich with a decent drive of his own. Scotty moving up from P7 to P5. Oso moving down. Madge from P12 to P7. Jay Sean P14 to P8. Gainful from P11 to P9. Silent Ninja just stayed where he was the entire race. Like, solid performance from him throughout, including the damage to his front wing. Hound, not what he wanted, but it's what he gets, unfortunately. We'll see what happens there. Jeremy, well, everyone else just finished a lap down or retired. So, thank you guys. I'm going to wrap up the stream now and have a nice week.